Welcome back to Gunday Brunch. I'm Caleb Giddings. This is part two of our SHOT Show recap. I hope you guys enjoy.
Uh,
Woohoo!
that is that is a bonus ad that we're doing.
A bonus. Everybody likes bonuses.
Bonus. Remember,
I,
you pay nothing for Gunday Brunch. We bring this to you free gratis, baby.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
like
is free
you
99.
have to
This actually,
your investment is open YouTube or open email or
yeah,
open
Right.
podcast
or your
of your
podcast app.
choice,
Like,
podcast
yeah,
medium of your
by the
choice.
way, I shout out to the people who subscribe on iTunes because those numbers, like, that has been watching those. It just does this. Like, it's not a lot. It's not like we're getting like 1,000 new subscribers a month. It just slowly creeps up, and those people are great because the metrics for those guys are fantastic. But I wanted to get back to the lever guns for a second because I didn't if you guys came by the booth, if you were at SHOT Show and you tried to come by the booth to talk to me, it was a nightmare. I was super friggin' busy. I didn't get out nearly as much as I wanted to. Did either of you guys shoot the Henry lever gun Supreme, the one that takes the AR mags?
No.
I didn't even
Okay,
see it. That's how busy I was.
so
I didn't
if all
get
right,
out to
so
the floor to actually look at new stuff until Friday.
allow me to. So I'm going to pitch this question out to the readers because I'm looking at the geometry of the lever, and in all of their sample guns, they've got a shorty mag in there, right? Like a fiver or a tenner. And
Mhm.
I'm like, if I stick a 30 rounder in there, I feel like I'm going to bang the back of my hand off of the magazine when I operate the lever. Like, I feel like it's not going to, like, I'm sure that they tested it so the lever clears it and everything, and you can operate the gun. But I feel like my finger, my trigger finger, is going to be interacting with the magazine in a way that I might not find pleasant. I'm not talking shit about Henry. This is just me as someone who deals with lever guns on a regular basis, looking at
It
the geometry of this and going, what if you have big hands?
it does not feel correct to you. Let me
Yeah, and again, I'm not talking shit. I love the idea of doing lever guns. The big limb fact for lever guns in the market, I think, is that they are generally only available in traditional lever action cartridges. Obviously,
Mhm.
Savage had this. What was it? The Savage 99, I think, years and years ago. That was available, that was a magazine fed, so you could do different rounds and stuff like that. So I think that, so I
For
love
those
the
of you who
idea.
don't know, you may not know, the reason that there's a limitation for lever gun cartridges, guys, is because they stack in front of each other. And if you put the pointy part of a lot of traditional rounds against the primer and put a lot of pressure on it, that
it,
results in bad things.
it might make a loud noise, especially, could you imagine if you were trying to, like, you had a batch of unlawfully acquired M855A1 that you were trying to shoot through like a lever tube, that hard tip penetrator on a primer right in front of it. Congratulations, sir, you've constructed a grenade.
You click that fifth one in there, and all of a sudden, pop!
Yeah, oofka.
Pieces
So
just go everywhere, and you're like, oh
but yeah,
no.
the lever gun thing's cool, and I'm super excited. I'm excited to see more of it. I love seeing what companies do in this space to try to capture market share because there's your tradition, the collabs that we're working on right now with like Ranger Point Precision and Midwest Industries and all of that, where they're making furniture and all of that fun stuff. I will say this, guys. I am very much not a fan. It's not that I'm not a fan. Hang on. Let me rephrase that. I love all of the, like, the rails and the foreheads and stuff like that. And I think that, being able to add certain stuff like an optic and a suppressor to your lever gun makes a lot of sense. I just don't like it when I start hanging stuff off the front of the gun because it disrupts the balance. All right. My 20-inch 30-30 balance is great. And I put Lane Point on there, doesn't disrupt the balance. The gun does everything then that I need it to do. You can put a PEC 15 on there. You can
I'm
do all of this
I'm
other stuff.
I'm gonna step out here and I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you put something on your lever gun that isn't wood or leather, I think you're doing it wrong.
We have
I understand the desire. I understand the desire. An optic, I can accept just about any optic you want to throw on there. That is about aiming there's an acceptable point to me there. However, when I look at that furniture, when I look at it, I get the ick.
Wait,
It,
where's the
it,
guy with the
I'm
list?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in
put
the
it on the
opposite
list. I don't care.
direction. I'm really gonna go in the opposite direction,
Of course you
but
are.
there's a limit. I do think that with black poly furniture and everything, if you've got that type of lever gun, if you're not running wood, I do think an aluminum open M-lock handguard looks good on the black. But if you're going the whole like skeletonized
here's
stock
my
and
problem.
riser and everything
What are
like
we
that, I'm
putting
like,
on there?
nope.
What are we putting out there? A light? Are we poaching? And look,
Hey,
y'all know I got lights on every gun I own, but I look at a lever gun and I'm like, man, I just want that thing.
I just think it, like,
I
I
want
don't
it
put
in the
anything on it. I just think it
God, I
looks
just
good.
want it in the back window of my truck. So cars aren't holsters. Cars aren't holsters, but I miss trucks with guns in the back window. That was peak Americana.
Truck with gun.
God, if you never hopped up into a square body Chevy of like a a, a, a person they called your uncle, but who had no real familial ties to you, and in his back window was a Wingmaster 870 and a 30-30 lever gun of who knows who made it, and rolling around in the back in the bed were like 30 beer cans that had been opened.
and a
That
bunch of empty shells.
Yeah, that man gave you knowledge. It wasn't good knowledge, mostly
But it
illegal,
was certainly
but
knowledge.
like a gun rack in the back of a Chevy is just. Also, I bought a new Chevy,
Yeah,
and
we saw.
I highly recommend dealing with Clark Chevrolet of McAllen, Texas.
That is
All right.
for the record, that's a plug that we
This
all
bastard
support.
right here. This bastard right here has got me 3 times thus far, and it's only February. It started with, "Hey Keith, what, Jack? You should give me $300." I'm like, "Why, Jack?"
Why
He's
should I
like,
give you three?
"Matching 590 A1 short barreled shotguns," and I'm like, "That
No one
feels
else
like
was
more
going to
than three
buy them.
hundred dollars."
I'm a little upset that I didn't get. I would take a
There were only
598 one.
two.
There were
There
only
were
two.
only
Ah,
two.
hey,
I
you know
got
what we need to do? We should do a Gunday Brunch special edition gun. I feel like we know enough people that we could make
Oh
like
my God, yes.
a Gunday
That's
Brunch SBR PDW happen.
I think we should
Think we can.
each put together a a package gun. Like this would be the Keith, this would be the Jack, this would be the Caleb. And then we see which one is liked
We did
more
an
by the
episode
audience.
about that where we were like, "What's the dumbest thing that you guys want to make?" And you know, my problem is they do this stuff. Like we launched the Taurus Home Defender, right? A 13-inch Judge with a pistol grip.
Yeah.
Fucking that was thought up by some of my guys in the marketing department. They're like, "Hey, what if we cut the barrel down on a circuit judge and put a pistol grip on it?" And Brazil was like, "That shit sounds like it fucks." And it's amazing.
First of all, promoted.
First of all,
we actually
everyone's
did
like,
promote one of them.
"That's stupid," and then you start thinking about it, and you're like, "That's just a 5-shot, pull the trigger as fast as you can, 410 SBS."
Yeah,
So
There
it's pretty
used
great.
to be there used to be a God, what was it called? Um there was the street sweeper, and then there was the home defender, which was 410 45 long Colts.
Uh-huh.
And it was like the lady defender or lady's best
Something
friend.
like yeah. So
Yeah, ooh.
in unofficial marketing communications, I have referred to the Taurus Home Defender as the Taurus Room Broom. And I've also tried to get writers to put that in their content because the shit's amazing. If you could get your hands on one, they're back ordered out the yin yang. I strongly encourage you to do that.
It was
But
called
like,
the Ladies Home Companion.
oh, what a great name!
Are
God,
we
the
talking
Yankees were
about
amazing.
a adult toy or an adult toy?
Oh my god! So, all right, let's do this. Let's do some yeah, fuck it. Final shots
Final
on Thought
thoughts.
Show. I mean,
Shot thoughts.
Final thoughts
yeah,
on Shot Show.
final shots on Thought Show.
That too.
You know what? Here's my final thought. God, I fucking Keith, go.
Hey guys, we're dyslexic. Could you tell? Oh, I was pleasantly surprised. Final thought, I was pleasantly surprised by SHOT Show this year. I saw a lot of things that I'm very happy are coming down the pipe in optics, in fun guns that I want to personally buy and pick up, including a lot of Taurus products. Um, and I'm going to have a lot of fun this year with what's releasing in lever guns, in optics, in in suppressor tech, because flow through is coming out more and more, and I like that. Um, so yeah, it's going to be a good year, and I was wrong that it was going to be a sleepy year. It's going to be a fun year. Jack.
Shot was fun this year.
It
That doesn't
was.
always happen. I
Mhm.
think it's important to note when it does happen. Um, we will be working with a lot of companies that I'm very excited to be working with. I personally have like 3 guns that I'm really excited to get my hands on. Um, keep an eye for the Jack and Keith corner where we can talk about the weird stuff that we're playing with. We will probably do an episode on them at some point, but like we've got a couple of projects in the pipeline that are a lot of fun. But like Cry was fun this year. In general, we just had a really good year at Shot, and it looks like companies are having fun producing fun stuff. Daniel, we didn't even talk about Daniel Defense
Oh my
bringing the
God, the
Hudson back.
friggin' the
Yeah, the
D9.
H9's back. Like that's
The
that's one of the guns
return,
that was like
the
neat.
return. He comes back a king.
I was I was gonna bring that up in my thought shots, but that's not. Never mind. I was gonna bring that up, but yeah, the H9 is back, baby, and I I hope they sell every single one of them that they make. You know, at that price point, they're not going to be making a lot of them. This is not a gun that is ever going to compete with Glock or Walther or something like that for like duty gun contracts. But you know what it is?
But for your like performance center stuff.
It's like I want one. I unabashedly want one because they did it right. They didn't just bring back the H9. They changed the sights, they made the sights better, and they made it optics ready from the jump. Because while there are still a lot of people out there who do not care about optics on their guns, and they're wrong, you should have a red dot on your gun. The fact is that the people that are going to buy the Daniel Defense H9 want to put a dot on it. Like it's such a tightly niche product for those people that the version of it that they brought into existence is absolutely the right version. But I think my final thoughts on the show, I first off, I concur with Jack. It was fun, and I barely saw anyone. Well, that's not true. I saw a lot of people, but I didn't really go out afterwards. I didn't go to Cry. I didn't really go to any parties because I was tired because I was working. But for me, I've had shot shows where I had fun and I didn't work a lot, and I've had shot shows where I didn't have fun and I didn't work a lot. But I have always had a good time at the shows where I really feel like I am doing the job and doing it well. And I talked to so many people at the show and so many people who came up to me and were like, we love what you guys are doing with your products. We think the direction is great. We're excited to see what happens next. That shit feels good. And that shit doesn't just feel good for me, it feels good for all of the employees that we bring to this show who are not in marketing, right? So if you came by the Taurus booth, there were like 15 people there that worked there. 4 of those people worked for marketing, just 4 of us. So when you say to George from engineering, hey, I love the direction that these products are going, you don't know this, but you're talking to the guy who helped design those products. So when you say to Josh, the rifles product manager, you don't know Josh, but you say to Josh, hey, I think the Taurus Expedition, fuck, we didn't even talk about the Expedition. We launched a bolt action rifle. Where's my head? This was a great shot show, guys. Like
On
that's
top of that,
this.
that gun felt good.
Oh, the
Oh
gun,
my God, did that gun feel good?
it
I saw a
shoots.
couple places online that were clowning on it a little bit, like this ain't worth $800. I'm like, this is what I want the Remington 700 to be, and the Remington 700 no longer is. It died away from this space. The Expedition's here, and it feels good. It
You know what we
feels like
built?
that bolt gun.
So, and my boss Brett is a big time hunter. Our rifles product manager, big time hunter. They wanted to build a hunting rifle that they would take with them on a hunt, right? So it's got all these features built into it. When I'm looking at this gun, I'm not a big time hunter or even a small time hunter, really. I'm like, hey, we accidentally built? We also accidentally built a sub $1,000 MOA accurate fucking DMR gun. Like we built because that stock profile is the M24 stock profile, right? And now you could just slap it on your Spartan Precision bipod and drop into the prone from a rooftop in an overwatch position, and you're good. And so yeah, it was a great shot show. And like shout out to Smith and Wesson and Arrow and all of the other companies that drop bolt guns. Shout out to Lipsies. This is my last thing. Shout out to Lipsies for having the balls to go to Smith and Wesson and say, "Hey, make this super cool revolver. If you make it, we'll buy all of them and we'll be the exclusive distributor for it and we'll sell them." So yeah, that's a squared away configuration, and there's no hate coming from me and my revolvers at the Lipsy's like turbo J frame. That shit looks like it slaps, and I want one. But yeah, my final thought: I had a great time at Shot Show, guys. Despite almost killing Jack with COVID, and anyone else that I may have come into contact with who then got COVID, two of my coworkers. I'm super sorry about all of that, but we had a great time this year. Shot was fun, and fingers crossed. There's a good chance I may not be at SHOT Show next year, not because I'm getting fired, but because I have this other job, and sometimes that other job takes me. And they say it's sort of like getting consensually renditioned.
This other contract where he has to put on camouflage clothing and then we can never see him again until he takes it
Yeah.
off.
Well, I mean, I come back usually. Hey, 100% of the time, I've come back every time so far. All right, guys, that's it for this week. This is probably going to be a two-part episode, so I'll figure out a way to split it up in post. Bye.